Hey guys, husbands, have you ever blown up in anger at your wife? I've got 3 hacks that I'm going to give to you that's going to help repair what happened. But hey, before we jump in, make sure that you like, follow, subscribe to this video or audio wherever you are seeing it or hearing it, and it will help you get all our great content, and it will also help out too. I'm not very proud to say that yes, I have blown up in anger on my wife, and there was one in particular situation a couple of years ago that I'll never forget. And obviously I wish I could take it back, and if this is something that's happened to you, I want you to know that you're not alone and you're a human being. And again, not to make excuses, but that's just a fact of why things happen like this. And a few years ago, my wife and I got into a disagreement, and it escalated and escalated, and I kept pushing and pushing, and it was almost like I heard this little voice in the back of my head that was a little bit lower. The volume was a little bit less of, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And the other voice in my head was just continuing to go, not stopping. And my volume was increasing, and the anger was it was spilling out into rage. And now looking back on it, I realized what it was. We were actually in the process of moving, and I was really hyper focused on getting the current house that we were in repaired and remodeled and cleaned up. And then my wife's priority was more thinking about the new house and what could we buy and what could we do and how could we decorate the new house. And I just wasn't there. And so we were having this tug of war over me wanting to get done what we needed to get done now, her just loving and thinking about the future. And it just boiled over, and my stress and my anxiety just went to a level that, again, I'm not proud of. But I'm going to talk about some things that I did that did help repair the situation that I think you should try if this does happen to you. Number one is to peacefully, kindly, lovingly say, I need to get away for a minute. And the purpose of you doing that is not to shut the conversation down. It's not to dismiss, but it's purely about getting away because you're hot and you need to calm down. And so when you can get away, you can calm down. Now, sometimes when we get away, we can do what I call nursing and rehearsing, and that's something you don't want to do. What that is, when you're nursing something, it means that you're thinking about what happened. I can't believe she talked to me this way. I can't believe she was acting this way. I can't believe she was interrupting me. And then you're nursing again that hurt, that anger, that upset. And then rehearsing, typically what ends up happening is you go into this place of, when we get back together, I'm going to tell her this, and she's going to know this is an issue, and I'm going to give her what for. And of course, as you notice, you're basically getting right back into what happened again. And getting away, you don't want to do that. You want to do the opposite. You want to work to calm down, just bring that heart rate down, bring the fight or flight down. And then I would also encourage you to go to God. Say, hey, God, help me understand what happened here. What was I doing? Where did I go wrong? Help me see what was happening here. Because kind of anger, the way I look at it is, we've got it within us, and the person that maybe we're interacting with, our spouse, is maybe they're squeezing on us. The orange juice is dropping out, but it's within us. It's not the other person. So we've got to let the Lord help us understand what happened, where we've gone wrong. So that's the whole point of getting away. And in my story, and I've never done this before, it was the only time I had done it, but I actually drove away. And I went to Walmart parking lot of all places, and I just sat there. It was a nice day like it is today, and had the window open, and just the anger was still there. And I wish I could tell you, oh, it took about 30 seconds and then I was fine. It wasn't. I'm trying to remember, it might have been a good 30 minutes at least. And research does tend to suggest that anger takes a good 25 to 30 minutes to dissipate. Yeah, so I was really there. And I finally got into this place of working to calm myself down and really thinking about where I went wrong. And then I want you to make sure that you stay with me through this entire video, because each of these things that I'm talking about builds on each other, and you got to be careful and not do them out of order. But the next thing to do when you come back is to really genuinely, remorsefully say you're sorry. And you're not talking about the situation, you're not trying to defend, you're not talking about what you did. You're simply just saying, I'm really sorry that I got angry and that I raised my voice and I got upset and it wasn't right and I should not have done that. And again, just being incredibly remorseful. And I want you to do that. It's going to take up here, and then it's going to take down here in your heart. And you're going to have to hopefully have both of those, because you can talk from your head and you can just parrot back again what I'm telling you to do. But if it's not in your heart, it won't come across correctly. People can see right through that if it's just you're just being a robot. But if you're saying it from your heart and with the proper emotion, your wife will see that. And I remember when I came back and did that, I didn't get an instantaneous, great, we're okay, and kumbaya, and everything's fine and dandy. It takes my wife a little bit to come back, and that's where I have to be careful, because I can sometimes continue to push even that part of it and say, why won't you forgive me, or why can't we move past this? And when you've hurt somebody, sometimes it can take a little while. So I would ask you, if you're not getting back what you're looking for, it might be something that you want to just be patient with. But again, it's very important to ask for forgiveness and say you're sorry. And then finally, if your wife has said, yes, I do forgive you, and we can move forward, the last thing that I want you to do is, at that point, then you can get into and talk about what happened. But you're trying your best not to get into a blame game and to point out what your spouse was doing. You are trying to keep more of the conversation about where your actions were. And you can get into, hey, when you said this, I think I misunderstood. So for example, in the situation I was talking to you about with me, I was under the misunderstanding that my wife did not care about what was going on with the house currently. She just loves to dream. She loves to think about what was next. In fact, she didn't even say anything about, no, we're putting aside what we're doing at this house. This is what I want to do in the next house. No, it was more of just, hey, I love thinking about this. So can we talk about it? I'm really just dreaming. And I told her, I said, I think I misunderstood. And for whatever reason, I was hearing that as if you were saying, nope, we're not doing anything with the current house anymore. We're just going to focus on the new house. And again, that's not what she was saying. So it's good. You get the more you can dialogue, again, from a place of, I think John Gottman had said this once. It's like almost like you're thinking about a play that you just saw, or an opera. Or Heather and I love to go to Shakespearean plays. We don't always understand what they're saying, but we'll go and we could talk a little bit about it afterward. And when you're talking about a play like that, you're talking about it from a place of where there's not big emotions. It's just, you're purely just dialoguing logically about it. And so if you can be in that place with your spouse and just talk about things from a calm standpoint, sometimes you can get out some new learnings, some aha moments, some light bulbs. That's the whole point of what you're trying to do here. So I hope those things help you. Again, do these things in order. Number one, get away if you can. Number two, apologize, be remorseful. Don't talk about the details of the situation. Then if your spouse has gotten to a better place, then you can talk about the details and the things that happened, and maybe some learnings for both of you, and then hopefully get to a better place next time. But again, just remember, you're a human being. These things are going to happen. It's not an excuse to allow it to continue to happen. But if you've done it, I have too. And we produce all kinds of awesome marriage content. And so you might think I've got it all together. I don't. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure things out. I even do things when we're talking, we're conversing. I know the appropriate rules or the things that are going to work, and I don't follow them. And so it's because I'm human, but I'm trying. And that's what we're all trying to do here. Hopefully this helps you. Hey, before we go, pick up our free resource. It's called the 10 Practical Strategies to Communication. Print that out. I'm going to put a link wherever you are hearing or listening to this video. And it's a free resource. Like I said, you'll get signed up for our newsletter, stay in touch with us. And I think it'll be really something that will help you and your spouse together. So with that, thank you for joining me. And I can't wait to talk next time. Take care until then.